This is tetrion. It's a kind of powder that makes things obscure, non-reflective. This one here is another thing which I have it's got multi-horizons. But these, if you look down there, these are birds. This is a tree, but it's the same mark which has been either made huge or very small. I mean, I'm interested in the line of the bird down there, whether I pick it up and it makes a stronger line, or whether I get something against it. It's verbally very difficult to describe.
We see this ability to adjust in the simplest and quickest of lines to convey movement, to create a portrait, to capture a likeness. And whilst it's a very simple portrait drawing, to me this exemplifies Tony's ability as a really exceptional draftsman.
I mean, just the figure looking at I'm still working on that one. It's just a model. It's just an odd thing. I don't know whether it's going to work or not. I mean, these aren't working. This is on the edge, but it's not.
So why isn't, to you, I think people will be interested, why to you doesn't that work? And why is that on the edge that it might? What is it that you're looking at? And
well, this is the idea. I'm finding it difficult to have another player with a racket, a slight head. I don't know how real or unreal I'm going to. The difficult thing is that drawing is basically a question of putting something in the place it wants to go to, or you want it to go to. Well, I can use it. Anything. I use pen, pencil, chalk, crayon, and then I can paint with. I can draw with a brush, and which would have a liquid watercolory thing, and the ink. And I can use all sorts of different ways of making marks, really. It's a funny bit of thing, but it's big lines which are different from these, which are
we're looking at a drawing which is figurative and abstract, and that's what Tony's always interested in, this border and boundary between different states and different ways of looking at work and different ways of understanding work, and not just giving us a single this is what it's about, but asking questions constantly. And that is done so often with the way he uses line. It's the capturing of just the suggestion of an outline where we know instantly what we're looking at.
It just happened very quickly, just like that. And I got one that was, it's just playing squash and hitting it. What is quite interesting is this one as well, because this is literally also hitting a ball. But for me, it really feels like a slam without having too many. I mean, I haven't done hand that matters too much, or my face too much. It's the twist of the whole body. So. This is a slightly unusual one. I don't know if you've seen. It's nothing to do with what we're doing, but that's it's a work on paper. But it's lots of things. If you look, there's a big pair of lips there. And it's a kind of a smiling look. But then there's a thing that looks like a chicken if you're doing that. But then if you look carefully, this could be a bull, which is charging towards you. You see, legs, there's nostrils and an eye. And then there's a birdie thing that's looking down there. Then other animals.